It's like a Leviathan, except it's not eating its tail. It's a dick going into the ground forever.
It's a dick going into a man's own butthole. Just like I wish I could do. No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Why have you never shown me? We've known each other 20 years
I've tried
now.
to show you. I told you before. When I'm hard, it's harder.
Yeah, and you keep saying like, "No, I'm tired. Not tonight."
I've got a headache.
No,
I don't want to see that.
Well, the last time Coop and I partied hard
I've
together,
seen Joel's
I tried to
mega
shit in his
posts.
living room.
Oh my God! Yeah, you. Hey Joel, let's open up the episode with you telling that story.
Well, I
It was like one of the only
ex.
times that. Well, yeah, we all are. It was one of the only times that you came to my last apartment in Austin.
Yeah.
And go ahead and explain to the
pissed off-
listeners what.
Yeah, I was pissed off
what
at his
happened.
ex, so I found anything I could that she was involved in. I tried to shit on it.
Was
Literally
involved in?
drug it out into my living room. Put it in a pile.
She got him like a fucking.
There was
what was it? It was a shower curtain.
A shower curtain. I think there was like one painting or a poster or something like that. Oh, and also the one thing that I saved in the situation, which thankfully Joel didn't follow through with actually shitting in the middle of my living room.
I tried, but it wouldn't come out.
I know. I was yelling at you the whole time, full blown pants down, just squatting in the middle of the living room.
I saw it all.
But I've seen it tons of times. So yeah, just pile of stuff in the middle of my living room, drops his pants, and he's just sitting there straining as hard as he fucking can. And I'm yelling at him the entire time.
Prolapse.
It's always prolapse. Well, how far are you talking about? Like,
it's
2 to
loose,
3
it's not
inches, or are
prolapse.
you talking
No,
about
just,
like a solid foot?
Like the rose, just like the little rosebud.
From my experience, that's what it always looks like.
That was how I could get my revenge, and then it didn't happen. But it was still funny as hell.
Oh,
I was afraid to tell you
jerked off on it.
No, see that I would have accepted, but I was afraid to let him know anything else in the apartment that I had gotten from her. I have an antique sign from World War II. It's framed. That I was worried. I only told him after the fact that that's where I got it because
Once I sobered up.
Yeah, because I didn't want him grabbing a very expensive antique and taking a shit on it.
What was this? What did the sign say? Just showers? What did it say?
Oh no, it's something along the lines of girls bringing sailors into the hotel must pay in advance. It was like a sign specifically geared towards prostitutes during World War II, who are the real heroes of World War II, in my opinion. Like that, Rosie the Riveter is actually Rosie the Fluffer, in my opinion. Hot take on that.
The Pearl Harbor hookers were pretty sweet.
That was a good episode.
Yeah. They saved a lot of lives and fucked a lot of soldiers.
Iconoblast! We put the past on blast! Hit them with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast!
So in case nobody can tell, this is episode 2 of Iconoblast Epitaphs. This is kind of an after-hours show that Joel and Adam and I do together whenever a celebrity dies. They've been dropping like flies lately.
They really have.
Lance Reddick is down.
The same Riddick? Okay, so I didn't even know that this guy died, and I didn't know anything that he'd been in since, like, John Wick. I think that's the only one that I know him from.
I think that's the most popular, right?
Dude, I'm glad I'm not the only person.
Oh, Adam, I was hoping you knew something about him.
That's what I was hoping also, because I know next to nothing about this guy.
No, he was in New Jack City, and he was also ironically, he had the same character basically, like in John Wick, like a dude who works at the hotel desk in Crazy Rich Asians. Because Crazy Rich Asians, they go on vacation
I never saw that.
to Macau, because that's where like bougie Cantonese people from Hong Kong, they go to Macau, and he's the front desk guy there.
He's sweet in John Wick. He was like my favorite character besides John Wick in John Wick.
Oh, dude, what about what's the guy's name
when
from?
When he takes the dog.
What's the guy's name from? Is it Deadwood? The Western movie where everyone just says cunt all the time.
Yeah, the guy who says "cunt the most." He runs the whorehouse.
Yeah, and then in
he's
John
Frank.
Wick he's the owner of the hotel, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that sweet dude. He's sweet.
Like, did you ever see Hot Rod?
Oh, with
Andy
Andy
Samberg. Yeah, he's
Oh, I did see that.
Long time
he's
ago.
his stepdad Frank.
Cool beans. Wait, he was in Hot Rod?
Yeah,
Wait, who was the owner of the hotel? Or Lance?
yeah.
Ian McShane. That's his name.
Ian McShane.
Dude, he plays.
He
He
plays
plays
Andy Samberg's
Odin or
stepdad.
Mr. Wednesday in American Gods.
So,
Perfect
Coop, I
casting.
thought you would know this one. He was Reggie in Always Sunny.
I have never seen him in It's Always Sunny, and I've
Well, he's
literally
in like
rewatched
full
every
silly
season.
outfit. He's like, well, so I watched the scene, and he's like, "Hey, man," like being a black person, and they beat him up with a bat for being black.
You think all black people talk like Jamaicans?
Well, that's what they were doing it to him on purpose.
That'd be cool.
And then they were like, "Hey, knock that shit off, or we're gonna beat you." And they like beat him up with a baseball bat for it. It was pretty funny.
I don't remember that at all.
So he has range. It doesn't even look like him. He's got like all kinds of. Normally he's like all slick and smooth in his suit, but he was all like fucked up looking. Like
That's the only way that I remember him from anything that I've actually seen him in. Actually, Joel, you pointed something out to me that he was in that I have seen tons and tons of times, and I didn't even realize that was him playing the character. But it wasn't a movie.
Fucking
it was
Destiny.
actually a video game.
Yeah.
So you guys want to?
So a couple other things he was in. He was in Oz and The Wire, which are like two huge HBO shows, I guess, that I've never seen.
The Wire.
I used to watch Oz all the time. Yeah.
So Oz,
Yeah.
I've seen more of Oz than The Wire.
Have you guys seen Lost?
No.
Maybe like the first two seasons. As soon as
I'm
they
not gonna watch
revealed-
anything
Lost.
that David Lindelof has written. Ugh.
He in
What else
Lost,
is-
in all of like Locke's flashbacks, he's like the one taking care of him.
Lance
And then in
Reddick
the later
is?
yeah, and then when it's like when they in the later seasons when you think they're flashbacks but they're actually in the future, he's in those too.
Yeah, that's why the show sucked, is because it was manufactured to be confusing to get people to keep tuning back in. None of the writers had any idea where the story was going.
That's why it was awesome.
That's why I tuned out after like season 2. So the very
No,
first
it was
episode,
good for 3 seasons, and then it gets weird because literally they thought they were going to make
smoke
1 or 2
monster.
seasons.
as soon
they
as
got rid of that shit.
as soon as they revealed that cool fucking monster that they were hinting towards in the very first episode was just this dumbass cloud of smoke, I was like,
They
no,
fucked up
fuck
on
you,
that.
I'm done. And
My
then
favorite was
any of the
season
stuff that
3
I've seen
though,
from the
'cause
rest of it.
when they're in the lock in the box, it's so good. I love that shit.
There's a monster that's just smoke.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so dumb. They
dumb as
fucked up.
fuck.
It's like the
Yeah.
fog, but it's the smoke. Like
I'm
that's
not
dumb.
as strict as Coop. Like, fantasy stuff doesn't really like piss me off. But
Oh, dude,
when I saw that, I
always
was like,
pisses me
"That's
off.
dumb." But that show is so good until like season 4, and then it goes off the rails because what you said is true. Why it was good is because all they were trying to do is just make it the weirdest place they've ever been, and then it did so good that they were like, "Well, fuck! Now we have to make it all make sense." When what they should have realized is, no, you don't. Just never make it make sense and kill them all.
But then, okay, so this is really going to make me look like a fucking nerd. At least more of a nerd than everybody knows I already am. I have the same issue with The Lost that I had with fucking Inuyasha, an anime that I used to watch way, way back in the day. There was no resolution
I like
to the
anime.
story. Like when the writers started creating the story, all they were doing is they were coming up with scenarios that would just continue the story for as long as possible without any idea of where it's going. That's fine
like
in the
that.
beginning, but if you're just coming up with
It's
shit,
like real life.
there's a resolution to real life. Everybody dies. There's no resolution to. Well, I guess in Lost there
Lost
was
had a
the-
resolution. They all died.
Yeah,
At the
because
same
Like you
time.
wanted. They were all dead the whole time, which was
it
stupid.
was like Jonestown.
Oh no, that'd be great if they just like Lost was still on TV right now, but it's like people started dying off until eventually there's just one guy and it just goes on for years.
Yeah, it just becomes Castaway.
it just becomes Castaway. He's just sitting there trying to like, should I kill myself today? And he's like, no, I'll go eat a coconut.
Now, see, that's a thought I can relate
rad.
to. That's a show that I would continue watching.
That is a show that I would watch. Just like really still and bleak, just a guy staring at the ocean for like 20 minutes, and then he gets up.
Episode 6. It's just an hour of him watching the beach.
He climbs a tree and jerks off, and then he watches the sunset, and it's like
fails at fishing all fucking day. Gets bit by a jellyfish.
He eats his foot at some point because he's so hungry.
Oh, one of my favorite Stephen King stories is about a guy that gets stuck on a desert island and slowly eats himself over I don't remember how many days. I haven't read it since I was like a teenager or something like that. But yeah, he's just cutting off chunks of his own legs and eating them and convincing himself that it's just roast beef.
Gangster.
All right,
Anybody see John Wick 4? Anybody see John Wick 4 yet?
Is it out?
It's out.
Oh, I didn't know it was out.
Yeah, my wife just saw it today. She said it was awesome.
I kind of checked out after John Wick 2. I mean, the third one was pretty good, but
I had a client today, this like elderly guy, and I was cutting his hair. I'm like, so what do you got going on today, sir? And he's like, I'm taking my wife to go see John Wick 4. I was like, oh. Yeah! I was like, oh, that's cool.
How you make a marriage last.
I'm going for Lance now.
And we were talking about like movies about like there's like one dude that just fucking kills everybody, and he was like, I used to love that shit, and we kind of bonded on Dirty Harry. And then I was like, like all the Charles Bronson movies. He's like, it's great because he's old. He's like I fucking love Charles Bronson. I'm like, oh fuck yeah. He's like, do you want to hear my Charles Bronson story? I was like, I can't wait. He's like, it was in Austin. He's like an old Austin guy. He's like, I was driving. I was driving on the freeway, I think he said. And I was driving. He's like, I look over and there's this fucking muscle car pulls up next to me. And this is like, I think he said the late 60s, early 70s. And he's like, It's Charles Bronson smoking a cigarette. And he turns and looks at him while driving. He's like, you're driving this fucking muscle car. He looks over. And then he just flicks his cigarette and then just speeds off.
Yeah, that's my kind of Charles Bronson story. He was talking about the actor, not the band.
Correct,
dude. One of my favorite T-shirts that I've ever seen is the one you actually showed it to me because I think. Do you still own it? It's like I bought this T-shirt because of the actor, not the band, or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, no. I don't have that shirt, but I think
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should do a toast for Lance and then dig into his story, huh?
All right, let's kick this off. Here's to Lance Reddick. Right?
To Lance.
Reddick? Lance,
Reddick,
here's to you. I've seen two things that you're in, but I still have respect for you.
In 3, when he fights with John Wick, he looks cooler with a shotgun than John Wick. I'm going to give it to him.
Lance Reddick does?
Oh, yeah.
Did he do the same training as Keanu? Keanu? That's how you pronounce it, right?
He's black.
Keanu?
He doesn't need to be trained for that shit. He's natural.
What, he automatically knows how to use a... Drink.
Fucking shotgun? Drink. I guess that was bad. I don't know.
If Lance Reddick and Keanu Reeves are still alive, they should just switch names.
Did Keanu Reeves die too?
I know Keanu Reeves just.
God damn, we're gonna have so many episodes to catch up on.
Keanu Reeves just sounds like it would be a black dude's name, and Lance Reddick sounds like a fucking white guy who is on the rowing team. Yeah, a closeted gay white guy who's on the rowing team at his university.
Dude, Joel, the other night when you were texting me about this guy. I don't know, I don't remember names very well. I have a hard time remembering names because of getting hit in the head a lot and then also, just my general lifestyle. I thought you were talking about the guy that played the T-1000.
That's Robert Patrick.
What?
I know, completely different names. For some reason, in my mind, I was conflating Robert Patrick with
I would be a lot more
Lance
fucking
Reddick.
upset if the T-1000 died, okay?
Oh, shit, I would be too.
Yeah, that's Robert Patrick. Not to be confused with Eric Roberts.
They're a redneck when they have 2 first names.
Or Ron Jeremy.
You can never trust anybody with 2 first names.
Yeah.
I don't know where I heard that. Maybe my grandpa said it in between a whole slew of N-words. So before we begin, a short story of Commander Zavala.
That's his
do we have
character
to-
in Destiny.
Destiny 2. Well, Destiny 1 and 2.
Yeah, so our favorite character he ever played is from a video game. So sorry about that, Adam.
It's fine. I figured. I looked at his IMDb too. I'm like, they probably like his video game character, I would assume.
Fucking nerds.
Dude, when I didn't find out, so I had no idea that the guy from John Wick was one of my favorite characters from Destiny. So
I didn't know either until you were texting me about him the other day, and I thought you were talking about
Yeah.
the T-1000. And I was like,
He's
holy,
like the
holy
toughest,
shit, the
sweetest
T-1000 played Commander Zavala?
no.
Commander Zavala had faced many challenges throughout his career as a Guardian, but none quite like this. Again, I want to preface this by saying this is the same as the last Epitaph episode. I did not read through any of this before Joel sent it to me. As he patrolled the ruins of the city, he heard the sound of an explosion in the distance and the cry of a woman. Rushing towards the source, he found a young boy named Coop. Oh, I'm a part of this story. All right, that's good to know.
What are the odds?
You thought you were a woman.
I'm a little bit more concerned now. Rushing towards the source, he found a young boy named Coop lying injured amidst the rubble. Coop was gasping for air while grabbing his bloody genitals. Honestly, that's how I wake up every morning.
Is this in the video game?
Yeah.
Direct from the game, yeah.
No wonder it's your favorite shit.
Zavala knew that time was of the essence, and without hesitation, he picked up the boy and carried him to safety. He quickly assessed the injuries and found that Coop's left... You son of a bitch. Fucking knew it. He quickly assessed the injuries and found that Coop's left testicle was badly damaged.
Hashtag the Uniballer.
Adam,
you know that Coop has one ball, right?
No.
You didn't hear that episode?
I have both.
His mom, the episode with his mom, she told everybody that
I
he
have
was born with
both.
only one ball sack.
That's why you don't drink
And they
while
had
you're
to.
pregnant,
He had to have
Mom.
surgery. He's got like a prosthetic testicle or something.
No, it's the...
Like a nudicle?
It's
He has one sack with one testicle.
No,
or a prosthetic, but he won't show. He won't.
Or they
he
took
won't
the
show
one.
me.
They took the one ball, split it in half, and put it between the two.
They cloned it.
Signed it. Yeah, science.
Yeah. Why don't you go clone your testicle?
so you can go
fuck
fuck
yourself.
your testicle. Oh, I hate you both.
Yeah, this is news to me.
I've never told you that story before. Oh, dude, Adam has a lot of dirt on me. I'm surprised that I didn't tell him that. Maybe because he has
Coop
so
has
much
a lot of
other dirt on
secrets
me.
because I heard it from his mom.
No. See, here's the thing, Joel. I tell
She
you a
said
lot
that
of
he had one
stories,
ball
and you
sack
just
and one
don't
ovary.
listen to me.
He had a ball sack and an ovary.
It's
Like Jamie Lee Curtis?
exactly.
no,
But
she's
worse.
she's
I'm sorry,
got
Academy
2
Award
balls.
winner Jamie Lee
Award-winning.
Curtis.
Yeah, show a little bit of respect to that
Yeah.
man. Jamie Lee Curtis was super hot when she was younger.
I don't care what she got between her legs.
Yeah.
Without medical supplies, Zavala had to improvise and use his tongue to clean the wound. When the wound was clean and the blood was cleared away, Zavala notices the entire left testicle and sack was gone. Zavala used his ghost's light to cauterize the ball sack.
Ghost is like this little floaty thing that is kind of like R2D2. It can do shit.
Used to be played by, or
Just
used
so
to
you
be
know.
voiced by Peter Dinklage, and then Peter Dinklage had much better things to do, so they replaced him with Nolan North, because Nolan North will not turn down a voice acting job. Despite the pain, Coop was grateful for Zavala's quick thinking and bravery. Zavala knew that they couldn't stay there for long, as the enemies were closing in, but he refused to leave Coop behind. Using all of his combat skills and knowledge, Zavala fought off wave after wave of enemy attacks while carrying Coop on his back. As they finally reached safety, Zavala could see the relief in Coop's eyes. With tears streaming down his face, Coop looked up at Zavala and said, "Thank you. I thought I was going to die." Joel, you know me better than that. I never say thank you. When was the last time you heard me say thank you?
Zavala is like 8 feet tall and he's blue with beautiful
Oh,
eyes.
and I was scared of him because he was voiced by a black guy, so I had to be polite.
Yeah. Drink.
Yeah, I got a drink for that one. As they
I don't
finally
have anything
reached,
to drink.
Smoke.
Smoke.
Babe, can I get a drink?
See, that's exactly why I want a wife
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff, isn't it?
or kids.
It's pretty cool.
Illegitimate kids. I have my niece and nephew bring me drinks all the time. That's the only reason I love them. As they finally reached safety, Zavala could see the relief in Coop's eyes. Oh, I already read that part. Zavala replied, "You're safe now, Coop. That's all that matters." As they... Jesus Christ, Joel, you asshole. As they began to make passionate love, Zavala thought about the sacrifices he had made as a guardian and how it was all worth it to save innocent lives like Coop. From that day on, Coop looked up to Zavala as a hero and a role model, and Zavala, in turn, felt a sense of pride and honor in protecting the people he had sworn to defend. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed that the rest of this episode is factual because I would read like another 6 pages of that.
Don't
Yeah,
worry, I can work on that.
It's like another season of Lost. Just
Oh yeah, that's
Goes.
that's exactly what I want.
now I understand they're lost because they don't know what the fuck they're writing. It's like a joke.
That was the writers talking about themselves.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know what to do.
Dude,
I don't know what to call this fucking stupid show. We're lost.
Like,
J.J. Abrams is literally the IKEA of writers and directors and producers.
I don't like
It's
his
effective,
movies.
but holy shit, it is so copy and paste throughout anything that he does. He's like the, I don't want to say the Britney Spears because she's kind of outdated. The Taylor Swift of filmmakers.
all right, he's
Get back to
30.
the story, dude. You're ruining the pacing of the short story.
I thought that was the end of. Oh, okay. Here's the end of the story. They hooked up a couple more times, but eventually Zavala lost interest and moved on with his life. Oh, you had to take that dig at me. You had to take that dig at me. As a message of love, admiration, and grief poured out across the. Oh, this is getting into the
this is the actual
story itself.
Yeah, this is just an article from
Do we have
big,
to gi-
big fit
Do we have to give them
Doesn't
credit?
matter.
Are we
I
like
don't
a
know.
news show where you have to give credit to the sources?
We did last time, but I don't know if I wrote down who wrote it. It was from somewhere. It's a good article.
From the
Just
internet.
say source internet. Just put
Yeah,
that
I'll drop it I'll drop it on the screen somewhere.
put it on a chyron that goes across the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be like a newscast. I've always wanted to be a
dude,
news
yes.
anchor.
Source internet.
As a message of love, admiration, and grief poured out across the internet following Lance Reddick. You misspelled this guy's name through the entire story.
Did I?
Yeah. It's Lance
in the thumbnail?
It's Lance Reddick, not Riddick.
Oh, Reddick.
But I know you're a Chronicles of Riddick fan, so
No, it says Riddick on my notes. So
Riddick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this
Yeah,
is
like Riddick Bowe.
is that a real person?
Riddick Bowe is a professional heavyweight boxer throughout
It's
the 80s
Reddick?
and 90s. It's Riddick.
Never heard of him. Well, I mean, it's probably not surprising that I've never heard of a professional boxer. Or not my wheelhouse personally. That's why we have Adam on the show, because Adam is the first person to ever to get me to appreciate professional wrestling. Like,
Adam is
explaining
like
the amount of effort that has to go into it from start to finish. Now I think professional wrestlers are the best actors of all time.
Yeah, Adam has the knowledge of movies and wrestling like you do of Julius Caesar's body parts.
Oh God, I think that's not doing enough service to Adam's knowledge of professional wrestling and extremely obscure films. So, as evidenced by some of his last interactions online, the John Wick 4 and Bosch. What's Bosch? Is that another movie?
It's a TV show.
Okay, that's another thing that I haven't heard of. I don't watch nearly enough TV shows or movies.
Yeah, I guess he's just a big TV guy.
As evidenced by some of his last interactions online, the John Wick 4 and Bosch actor wasn't just the voice of Destiny 2's Zavala. He was a big fan and player just like everybody else. Players quickly spotted that Reddick's Destiny 2 handle, I don't care 789 #7678. I feel like he would be able to get
I don't care is
one
a
of the
good
verified
it's a good name,
accounts. I
though.
mean, it's a good name, but he's Lance Reddick. I would think that he could just get Lance Reddick. Who else would take that name? Like that's your PlayStation ID is Lance Reddick?
That'd be sick. But then everybody would know who he was.
It should be Rance Reddick.
Then nobody would recognize him.
Rance Lettuce.
Yeah, ranch lettuce.
Ranch Lettuce.
They'll never figure it out. People are stupid.
So his Destiny 2 handle appeared online the Wednesday night before he passed away from natural causes last week.
Last thing he did was play his own fucking game.
That's awesome. That's the same thing I would
Gangster.
do. Well, I don't know if I'd played Destiny 2 as my last game. Maybe.
What if you were one of the main
Halo?
characters in it, though?
Well, then I definitely wouldn't. Like the only reason I ever even listen to our show is because we do the premieres.
Oh, okay.
I hate looking at myself and I hate hearing myself.
Anyway, continue, please.
The actor's last liked tweet was also from a fan cracking jokes about Zavala, the stoic commander he voices in the game. Reddick had even played through most of the new Lightfall campaign and only had one mission left, the final boss fight against Callus. A statement on his Twitter account posted by his wife, Stephanie Reddick, even directly mentioned Destiny players. Quote, Lance loved you as much as he loved the game, she wrote.
He was a fucking gamer, dude.
Dude, that's awesome. That's one of the things that I like about Henry Cavill. When Henry Cavill was cast to play The Witcher, I've been a fan of The Witcher since the first game. I never read any of the books, but since the very first game, I have been a huge fan of the series. And when I found out that Henry Cavill was being cast as Geralt of Rivia, Geralt of Rivia, at first I was like, no, he's too much of a pretty boy. You know, he's the Superman guy. Then I watched some interviews with him. He knew everything about the game. He was talking about all the other games that he played. Like he loved and respected the character that he was playing, and he wasn't a full-blown console pleb. He knew that the best way to play video games is on PC. So that he got my respect for that.
But do you know about the drama on set?
With The Witcher?
Yeah.
No. What?
You haven't heard about this? He's a little bitch, dude.
What?
If he dies, we're not. If he dies, we're not doing an epitaph.
No, come on. That's Superman.
He knows the story. He knows the role he picked. Guess what he was doing on set? Refusing to do the sex
Fucking all the
scenes,
women?
refusing to take his shirt off.
What?
No. It was women directors, and he was like, I feel sexually harassed. He was complaining about sexual harassment, refused to do any of the Witcher sex scenes, which is half the fucking game.
Oh, Henry.
Yeah. Rumored.
Rumor by who?
The women that were like, can we get someone else
I don't
to play
believe it then.
Yeah, they should keep their mouth shut.
He was complaining about. He's Henry fucking Cavill.
No,
if I was
he
Henry
was
Cavill,
refusing to
I would literally never wear a shirt. I would never wear any clothes.
You barely do in the fucking game. That's the part that pissed me off. I'm like,
Henry.
dude, it'd be okay if they were like,
Henry.
yeah, if it wasn't that way before, and because he played all the games and knows the lore, the fact that he like halfway through was like, actually, I think it's fucked up that I have to do these sex scenes. I'm not going to do them. I'm like, well, dude, that's That'd be like being in fucking Pretty Woman and say, I don't want to be a hooker in this if you're Julia Roberts. Like, you pick the role. You got to do some sexy shit.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing.
I mean, I could see him pulling that card. He's like, look, I'm Superman. I don't know what y'all been doing with your little show about a video game, but I was Superman for 6 years.
Yeah.
So
apparently he's a pain in the ass. It's the
yeah,
other thing,
considering
too.
the fact
When
that
he
he
made
actually
Superman,
knew the game.
he refused to cut his mustache off.
Well, no, that was a contractual obligation. I've heard
That's
that
what
story
they say.
before. He had to
Yeah,
keep
but-
the mustache for like Mission Impossible or something like that.
That's
Also,
what they say.
if I was getting cast as Superman, like you literally cannot put me in a situation where I'd be willing to cut my mustache. It takes a lot of time, a lot of
but you're
effort,
an
a lot of
asshole.
training. No, it has nothing to do with that. To grow something like this, it's a lot of work. It's years
If
of
you got
dedication.
the role for Superman, you shave your fucking mustache. Like, don't be a bitch. You can grow
they
back.
They can just CGI it out, as they did. Although his upper lip did look a little weird. in
And
the
then
movie.
it's like the worst Superman ever made because it looks like he's not talking. And if he was cool, he would have shaved it and then been like, "Sorry, I'm shooting Superman. I'll grow it back. It takes me literally 1 day because I'm a man."
I mean, it should.
Like you.
All right, so Reddick hasn't been shy about his love of the game and its community in the past. Here's a quote from Reddick himself. Although I play Destiny almost every day, I'm even part of a clan. Holy shit, this guy was fucking awesome.
he's part of the
it's fucking-
clan.
He was in a clan, dude. No, drink.
Okay, yeah, we should probably drink for that one.
You better get your wife in check, dude. She didn't bring you any drinks, dude.
Oh, have you not gotten a? You haven't gotten a
She
drink
doesn't
yet?
speak English. I'm sorry.
Dude. Oh. Corazón.
Let's see where that
¿Cómo se dice beer in español?
Do we still have, do we have wine? Because they're yelling in my ear. I don't know. They're talking about, I don't know. They're talking about
Hey.
black guys being the Ku Klux Klan or something. I don't know.
Drink.
The what?
Blackface of white supremacy.
Yes, the black face of
Holy
white
shit.
supremacy.
I hope that's coming through on the mic. That's why Vanessa's so awesome. That's how she.
Hey, my wife gave me
earned
a bottle of
Adam.
wine all the way from Czech Republic.
What did she mail it to you?
No, she flew here, gave me the wine, and flew back fucking home because she knew I had a show today.
Okay, I thought you were serious because
Wait,
I
you
was
just
gonna
text her like, "Babe, I need a drink," and
Yeah.
What, like 16 hours later, she shows up?
If she sees this, she's gonna hate me.
You're married now. You think she already doesn't?
Good point.
That's what marriage is. It's two people deciding to hate each other
Hateful
for the
love.
rest of their lives, but they're going to stay together.
Then why aren't we married?
Because I don't hate you.
because it's illegal in Texas. Duh.
So Reddick said, although I play Destiny almost every day, I'm even part of a clan now. A clan, not the clan. Once I've played through each iteration of the
Wu-Tang
game.
Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan, drink.
Is that?
What? They're a clan. They're the other clan.
Yeah.
I know. It was positive.
Wu-Tang
positive
Clan
racism.
is the
So-
opposite
so
of the
nothing to fuck
KKK.
with.
Well, somebody could be sensitive to the fact that, because he's black, he's in Wu-Tang Clan, so drink.
Oh,
Yeah, all right, I'll drink to that too.
there's no white guys in Wu-Tang Clan. What's up with that?
Ooh. We
Did you ever see the
Joe,
Wu-Tang
we
Clan
cannot
TV
drink
show?
every time Adam says Wu-Tang Clan or Ku Klux Klan.
Well, it's a
That's
white
like
guy
the
saying
third
it.
word out of his
It's
mouth
racist.
in any statement. What were you saying?
Yeah,
Adam?
Who would win in a fight, the Wu-Tang Clan or the Ku Klux
Ku Klux
Klan?
Klan?
Wu-Tang, they know
Wu-Tang,
Tiger
100%.
style. All right, where the fuck did I leave off? Oh yeah, once I've played through each iteration of the game, as time goes on, I kind of forget about the story and just focus on powering up and getting cool weapons and grinding through playlists. I love this guy.
I love him.
He's fucking
know.
awesome.
Yeah, the fact that he's saying that in an interview.
At the end of the day, I'm just a big fan who also happens to voice one of the characters. Okay, I would play if I was in Destiny or Destiny 2, I'd probably still be playing it.
Yeah, what if you were the voice of fucking like what was the captain from like the main kind of the captain guy, or was he a general or commander? I can't remember.
Captain Phillips?
Captain Keys. You were the voice of Captain Keys. You wouldn't play Halo?
It's like, look at me. I'm the captain now.
Listen here, Chief. I'm the captain now.
Look at me. I'm old dirty bastard now.
While other Destiny 2 players spent Friday into the weekend crowding around Zavala to pay their respects, some Bungie developers shared personal stories about how Reddick wasn't like many A-list talents who voice a few lines, collect a paycheck, and then never look back.
That's right. Dude, if I was still playing Destiny and he died and I knew all
this dude's Nate, the product lead of Destiny was named Blake Battle.
Sweet.
That's a badass name.
But dude, I would go if I was still playing Destiny, I would go put my character next to fucking, you know, he's the one that you get the missions from back at the city. What's the city called?
I think the Last City or something like that.
Whatever the fuck.
It's the one that's under the big white sphere.
You can look up
he's
images
the guy with
of
the
it,
blue skin and the badass armor.
You know how normally how the city looks, everyone's running and doing their bullshit? Like, you can look up images, screenshots of, like, literally everyone that's on the server in that city just standing on top of him. Like, just this huge crowd around his NPC.
If I still owned my PlayStation, which I don't anymore, and I was still playing Destiny, which I haven't played in a few years, and I knew that Lance Reddick played Zavala, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't.
You slept with them, so you get something special.
Yeah, it counts. I paid tribute in my own way years and years ago, back when I was a beautiful young woman, before I transitioned. So, product lead Blake Battle recalled the time when he and some other devs helped take Reddick through Destiny 1's Wrath of the Machine raid just prior to the launch of Destiny 2. This motherfucker went through raids too. I have never finished a raid in Destiny. Those things were impossible to get a group for, and then impossible to beat once you got the group.
I beat a couple.
I suck at first person shooters. I hate to admit it, but I suck at first person shooters.
Yeah, you were really good at Battlefield.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Support class.
Battlefield 3. That's so before I moved to Texas, the last time that I drank was when the week that Battlefield 3 came out, and Joel and I drank so much that I stopped drinking for like 8 or 9 years, if not longer.
It was a handle and a half a day. We
Per
had
day?
a week off. We had a week off, and we were drinking a handle a day, but we would have to buy another one, and we'd drink some of that. It was so maybe a handle quarter.
Oh, and we were drinking like Pop-Offs or something like that.
Yeah, $11 handles, and we were playing Battlefield from the moment we woke up until we couldn't stay awake. And we did that for like a week and a half, and Coop actually almost died.
And we were listening to a combination of Mastodon's The Hunter album and American Head Charge.
Not The Hunter. It wasn't The Hunter. It was...
No, it was The Hunter. That was the one that just came out.
I mean, we did listen to that, but the two... for Battlefield, at least for me, was obviously American Head Charge. But the one before The Hunter.
We were listening to American Head Charge ironically. And then after about a week, it stopped being ironic.
The Czar, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Crack the Sky.
Crack the Sky.
Still
Crack
one
the Sky.
of their best album up until Emperor's Sand came out.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to go with me in April to see Mastodon?
I need to get tickets. Yeah, I got to buy tickets.
I don't remember the
Moody
date,
Center?
but most likely because that's where
Yeah.
most of the big bands play. But yeah,
Are you coming with us?
Adam? You want to go see Mastodon in April?
No, I'm going to try to go see Kiss.
No way. Where are they playing?
Moody.
I can't talk shit about that. Like if you got to pick one or the other.
I'm super cheap. I'm very, very frugal with my money, and I don't spend money unless I absolutely have to. And I drive by the billboard at Moody's every day, and I saw that Kiss is extending their final tour for the third year in a row. So I was like, I'm going to see Kiss.
They're going to keep extending their tours until literally every member of the band is dead. Which I have a feeling Gene Simmons is going to be the last one to die because he's the only one that didn't drink.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Blake Battle.
I just pulled a skeleton factory maneuver. You didn't hear that?
You're what?
He farted.
Did you just fart in the mic?
Yeah, right into the mic.
Still
Cut
not,
point.
still not as cool as pissing under the table while you're recording an episode, which Adam is the only person that I've ever seen do that.
It's professional.
Anyone who has listened to the Lepetamain episodes will know the term embouchure, which is the pucker of your butthole. Well, it's related to brass instruments, but the embouchure of your butthole is just a little bit too wide so nobody can hear it. Just squeeze your cheeks and then it'll make some sound.
I like to go into a deep squat. Next time you have to fart, just like squat really low to the ground so your ass is at as most open as it can be without actually like pulling the butt apart. It sounds cool.
Maximum. It
Jesus
still makes a
Christ.
sound.
The show's
Yeah.
going off the rails.
Oh yeah, I think it's been off the rails since the beginning. It's a bonus episode,
does it sound
so
like?
it doesn't count.
Tom Sizemore was proud of our episode. Lance, if he's watching, he's not happy with us right now.
If I had
Although
to worry,
we are talking about Destiny, he likes that.
if I had to worry about every single dead person that was looking down on me, disappointed,
That's
It-
a lot of
it
dead
would- it
people.
would be
You'd
a
have
shit
dead
show.
people being like, I can't see, move your head. Oh my God.
it would be like a
What an
concert for the Who,
asshole.
where they're all just smashing each other and crowding over the top of each other until some of them die again and then go to super heaven.
Yeah. That's everybody in heaven. They're Who fans from the 70s.
The Who, Joel, the Who.
We're not doing that.
So, well, yeah, because you have an, well, I think we all have an issue with the pedophilia.
Who?
Or no, that was Led Zeppelin, wasn't it? Jimmy Page. He was
Yeah.
the one that was hooking up with
Jimmy
Lori
Page
Maddox.
was the naughty boy.
Oh no, the Who are outstanding gentlemen.
Are they?
Are they?
Yeah.
I've never looked into it, so I don't know.
Me neither.
I just assume that pretty much any band from the 60s, 70s, and 80s probably has at least
No.
one shithead in it.
Oh, okay, that maybe.
At least one.
I mean,
Whereas with the Beatles, they've got two.
One.
No, one
Ringo's
real
cool,
bad
dude.
one. Paul McCartney's kind of a douche, but
I will say it was like years ago. Pete Townsend was accused of having child pornography on his computer, but like nothing came of it.
What?
well, because he's Pete Townsend, you're not
There's
gonna
like
arrest
pictures
somebody
of
like
it
that.
and shit of them like bringing his fucking computer out of his mansion and shit,
Really?
but like nothing ever came of it.
How did that not turn into a big? Well, probably for the same reason that Jimmy
Going
Page
to now.
never-
We have thousands of listeners.
Yeah, we're gonna blow the lid off this story. But yeah, most likely for the same reason that Jimmy Page was never punished for having a 14-year-old locked in his mansion for God knows how many years. So Blake Battle, who has an awesome name, recalled the time when he and some other devs helped take Reddick through Destiny 1's Wrath of the Machine raid just prior to the launch of Destiny 2. Quote, on the final encounter going to the last DPS phase, we had an untimely death that caused a little chaos, and Lance ended up needing to jump from the back of the room, glide. Holy shit! This
is so
might
awesome.
literally be the nerdiest paragraph I have ever read in my life. We had an untimely death that caused a little chaos, and Lance ended up needing to jump from the back of the room, glide onto Axis's back to stun him before the wipe. He pulled it off, and we cleared the raid. The excitement in his voice after our clear was palpable. The whole run was kind, sociable, and patient. He talked to us like he was just some guy from LFG looking for a chill group, which LFG, for people that don't know, is looking for group. It's just a way to pick up other people to do raids. From what
Yeah,
I
and
hear,
Adam, I know you don't play that
I've
much
never
of
played
games.
any sort of multiplayer games because I'm not a fucking.
I know
nerd.
you don't play a lot of games, so imagine if you were like playing a video. So the way raids work, it's like a group of at least 6. I think it's 6 or 8 in Destiny, and you have to work as
I
a
can't
team.
remember. I think it's 6.
And you communicate together with like headsets and shit. And so you work together and you have like tasks. Someone has to stand on a button, someone has to shoot a target, and someone has to do something else. And you all have to work together, and it takes all night. So, like what we're doing now, it's the same. You're like partying and drinking, and you're trying to complete this task. So what this guy is saying is, even though he's this fucking sweet dude who's in John Wick, he takes the time to sit there and play this fight over and over, hang out with just normal people, and he's actually fully enjoying it. Like, that's what he wants to do with his time, and that is fucking awesome.
It would be like what we're doing tonight if we had never met before and we just looked online to find
exactly.
a couple random people to do a show with.
That's lovely. I like to hear that. Because I tell you, Vanessa's uncle, fucking
Is Lance?
He partied with Michael Rooker.
No way.
Shit.
So Vanessa's uncle, he owned a Subaru. And when you get by a Subaru, they're like, we have parties here from time to time. We invite
when you buy a
who own
Subaru,
Subarus.
you get to hang out with.
No, so he was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this Subaru party. So he like shows up at the Subaru dealership,
And it
there's,
wasn't
like,
just a bunch
other
of lesbians?
Subaru owners. There's a bunch of old lesbians, and then him, and then Michael Rooker was there, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" He's
What the
like,
fuck?
"I own a Subaru." He's like, "So you know it?" He's like, "So you went to a Subaru party?"
gang?
Because you recognized him immediately, and he was just like, "Bro, what are you doing here, man?" He's like, "I own a Subaru." He's like, and he came to a Subaru party. He's like, "Yeah, these parties are great."
You were in The Walking Dead and you own a Subaru?
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
didn't you make more money
You were
off of
Henry
that?
and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, and you're going to a Subaru party.
Dude, he hunted down Van Damme in one of the clone Van Damme movies.
Wasn't he also
Yeah,
in Mallrats?
Yes, he was. He was the guy who got stink palmed by Brody and then ate the chocolate pretzels.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That
dude,
was the
he
first
could
time
be-
that I ever saw him.
He was also
That's
in
a good person
Cliffhanger.
on the Deadpool list.
He was in Cliffhanger?
Yeah, he was the character.
I
of
gotta have more.
He was-
I gotta have more respect for that guy.
Dude, he was Stallone's best friend.
Yeah,
Stallone
He didn't
killed
play
his
a
girl.
bad guy.
He was the good guy. Well,
he was a good guy.
you think he's a bad guy, and then he's a good guy, you know?
I don't
'Cause
think
he's
that
like,
I've.
"Fuck you."
Well, he's got heat.
Stallone.
Yeah, he's got heat with Stallone because Stallone dropped his girlfriend.
Stallone threw his wife off a cliff, so he's mad at
And
him.
throw his wife out.
Okay, so I'm not very good with names. Right now, we're talking about the lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish, right? Darius
Have
Rucker.
you seen Ace Ventura 2?
Yeah,
Have I seen Ace
Yeah,
Ventura
you know the beginning when he
I have terrible,
when he throws
terrible
the,
taste
when
in
he throws,
movies, of course.
Yeah, when he throws the raccoon off the cliff. Mm-hmm. That's what Stallone did to Michael's wife.
So Cliffhanger was ripping off Ace Ventura 2?
Yeah, it was based off.
Yeah.
They made a whole movie based off of Ace Ventura 2. The opening scene. Pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It's called Cliffhanger.
He kicked Michael Rooker's girlfriend off a cliff, like how Jack Black kicked Will Ferrell's dog off a bridge in Anchorman. So that's how I roll.
You know what, dude? Jack Black shot Kevin Costner off a boat once in Waterworld.
Like with what?
Do you not know this? Have you seen Waterworld?
Of course, I've seen Waterworld.
Remember this scene when the smokers have the plane and she fires the harpoon and it wraps around the boat?
Oh,
and
that's
the
right. He was
plane's
in the
stuck-
plane.
And it starts going around the thing. He's like, we gotta
That's
cut
Jack
the
Black.
cord.
That's Jack Black, and he shoots the fucking cord, and then that launches Kevin Costner into the ocean.
Didn't Jack Black also get his arm blown off by who was it in The Jackal? I know that Richard Gere was in it. I remember Richard Gere
Is that
because
Jack Black?
yeah. Who was the bad guy? Was that
The Jackal wasn't that
The Jackal's that's
it's not Val
Bruce Willis.
Kilmer.
was it
No, that's
Bruce
the
Willis?
Saint.
yeah, it's Bruce, right?
Oh, the Saint.
think so.
Underrated movie.
That's
in my
Val
opinion.
Kilmer.
The Saints, Val Kilmer.
Yeah. I don't know. All those movies bleed together for me. It's just like story of a hitman.
And if it wasn't for people like Lance Reddick, that we wouldn't have John Wick, which is like the last of those movies.
The last of the good ones. And speaking of
It's
Reddick,
the only action movie that's left. Okay, go. I'm hammered.
Reddick,
This is awesome.
a recurring fixture across some of the biggest TV series over 2 decades, frequently joked with players, engaging not just with his character in the game, but with a larger culture around it. Memes and all. I didn't know this guy was a video game nerd.
I didn't.
I wish I would have
until we were
appreciated him
The
more.
only reason why I knew it is because we made this episode when I found this article.
Long after other big names had departed Destiny, either because of their performances were panned or because they had to go star in The Rookie, no clue who they're referring to. I know that Peter Dinklage left because he was embarrassed by Destiny because he had to say the line, "That wizard came from the moon." I don't know who else left, but Reddick
Fuck
remained
Peter Dinklage.
a dependable bulwark, just like Savala. Of the actor's many virtues, one and I others keep coming. Are you sure you didn't write this, Joel? Of the actor's many virtues, one and others keep coming back to is how he was able to ground even the most absurd-sounding lines and story beats as if they were the most natural and urgent thing to ever be uttered. For a medium that self-consciously struggles to be taken seriously among the plethora of space marines, magical prophecies, and zombie parasites, Reddick was a perfect fit. Now Destiny 2 players are wondering how the game he gave so much can honor him back, both in the real world and in the cosmic scale events currently unfolding within it. There were long-running theories Zavala might eventually have to sacrifice himself to keep impending threats at bay. It was actually the character played by Nolan North that had to sacrifice himself, and that was in Destiny 2. I was disappointed by that. Do you guys know Nolan North? Joel, I'm
It
pretty sure
sounds
you
familiar.
do. He's the guy who voices Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series.
Oh yeah.
He sounds exactly like Nathan Fillion. And he plays a character that looks exactly like Nathan Fillion. And you know who they cast for that character when they made a movie about Uncharted?
Lance
Spider-Man.
Reddick.
Lance Reddick. No,
Sorry, I'm trying to follow the conversation.
Tom fucking Holland.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I watched the Uncharted movie a while back, and I was a little disappointed by
suck?
it. I mean, it's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's good.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Like, would you
Sidearm,
watch it again?
Not that way. See, I will rewatch shitty action movies and shitty adventure movies countless times. That's the reason that Starship Troopers is like my favorite film of all time. Like I'll rewatch that any day of the week.
That's why I'm so happy with John Wick. It's all we have left.
Yeah, it kind of is. Unless
You can't be
Adam
mad
can
at it. Even though
correct us
3
on
kind
that.
of sucked, you just gotta you gotta pay for, you gotta spend money on it so at least they'll make another one again, because there's literally no action movies left.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Once they stopped making James Bond movies, so it's like,
All you
those
have
were-
is
those
fucking
were
Marvel
decent.
movies.
yeah, which are like visual nightmares.
Holy shit!
I hate 'em.
I can't believe that. Like the Marvel movies were the last thing that I would go to when I just wanted to watch some mindless movie that had a modicum of entertainment value that I could
Captain
sit
America
through.
ones were good.
I mean, I liked the.
That's over 10 years ago now.
Again, I want to preface this by saying that I have horrible taste in movies. I like the Captain America movies. I like the Avenger movies. I liked the first 2 Thor movies. Thor: Love and Thunder was shit.
The only good Thor movie is Ragnarok.
Well, I mean, technically they were all shit. I understand that, but I'm saying like
No,
Thor: Love and
Ragnarok was
Thunder, I
actually
couldn't even
good.
sit through. The only way
Never
that I
seen it.
sat through Thor: Love and Thunder was because I was on mushrooms, and I have
I
no
don't
idea
think I can
what
watch
the
another
movie is.
Marvel movie again.
about.
I don't think I'll ever do it. I think that's it for me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no,
I've totally checked out.
Yeah,
That's why we have to believe in John Wick and we have to believe in Lance.
I don't have high
Yeah.
hopes for number 4.
My
I'm
wife said it was good. Did you watch The Last of Us?
I only watched the gay Ron Swanson episode.
Yeah. That's good enough.
That's the only one I seen.
Pedro
I actually
Pascal,
saw the actual game, but
the game's amazing. I think that's one of the
game was
most
fun.
well-written games ever made.
yeah, I played
you
it one
watched the
time.
series
It
yet,
was,
Coop?
it was cool.
So after my sister and I were supposed to watch all of it together. My sister, holy shit, she is obsessed with Pedro Pascal. I think I
He's a babe,
talked to you about that, Joel.
He looks like a Dick Tracy character. He looks weird to me.
He does look. He looks weird, but in a hot way.
So when I was trying to figure out why my sister is so obsessed with Pedro Pascal, and she couldn't even explain it, because he's not like a traditionally attractive guy. He's not bad looking, but he's not traditionally attractive.
You know how we fell in love with Joel even as men?
I remember how
thing
I
is
fell in
happening.
love with Joel.
Yeah.
It's way back in the day
because
working
the-
as security guards.
Fuck you, not me.
Joel
from
Osteen.
Joel from the fucking game, from the show and the game. So the same thing that happened to us when we were playing the game, how you're like, dude, Joel's fucking awesome because he hates this chick and now he loves her. When he's like, instead of being like, it's a package, now this is my family. Every woman is falling for that so hard, and literally, like my wife was like that episode when he saves her from the rapey cannibals. I was like, I'm done. I'll watch anything Pascal makes. Pedro's the hottest guy on the planet. 'Cause he's
Fucking White Knight.
Yeah, he's taking care of a little kid, and he's the meanest motherfucker, and then he becomes a protector.
But well, I mean,
That's what it is.
All right, if we get into
And
this
he's doing this
conversation, I'm going to get way too deep and political because I have theories about why that is. But Iconoblast is not a political show, except for when I
Besides,
go off the
don't
rails
go
and
into
start
politics,
talking about
but
politics.
He did the
Well, it's not
same
even
thing
really
in
politics, but
Mandalorian. Mandalorian is the exact same thing.
holy shit, it is.
So
He's
he
taking
is
care of
just-
Grogu.
Yeah, he's just this fatherly, manly character. So you're gonna fucking love him no matter what he looks like.
So if they did a remake of The Cosby Show, Pedro Pascal. Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. I'd watch that. You wouldn't watch that? They redid The Cosby Show, but it's Pedro Pascal.
But it's
Fuck
Pedro.
yeah, and all-
who's
all
gonna
Mexican
play his
cast.
wife?
With a
Like,
live studio audience, that'd be sick.
That hot Vega Veshavga. hot
so
Mexican-
Sofia Vergara. Which
Yeah.
one? Dude? I like a lot of them.
You know, it'd be a really good
Vergara.
casting choice.
You love that brown skin.
His wife is Zoe Kravitz.
Wait, Lenny Kravitz's wife?
No, that's his daughter.
His daughter.
Oh, I didn't know he had.
So what, like-
So hot.
Really?
I'm. Oh yeah,
I've never seen her.
No, you've seen Mad Max,
Is she 18?
Fury
yet?
Road. Yeah, she was.
Did you
she
see
was-
the Batman? The
Oh yeah, she
Robert
played
Pattinson Batman?
She was
She's
Catwoman, right?
Catwoman?
Yeah,
Yeah, not my thing.
I heard that.
She was gross in that.
I like that.
She was a lesbian, right?
Yeah, I love that.
The Last of Us is the Skyrim of Naughty Dog. They keep
It's
releasing
so-
it over and over
Dude,
again.
They're re-release. There's trailers now. The trailer is like, you've seen the show. Now play the game.
Now
And they
play
just-
the game for the 10th time.
And I play
Play
it
the
every
game
time.
of the show that's played off the game, and it's about the show, but we made it a game instead.
That's like, so Jurassic Park was originally based on a novel by Michael Crichton. They released a movie, and then they released a novelization of the movie. So it's the the movie based on the novel with the new novel.
You ever read the novelization of a movie? Because they used to do that all the time.
Oh, I
2013.
read the novelization of Jurassic Park. Okay, in
Of
my
what?
defense, Jurassic Park, the novelization of the Jurassic Park movie,
Oh,
because
I
the
read
original
it.
book
I read The Lost World. I didn't read the original.
which is even more different than the original Lost World novel. But yeah, the Jurassic Park novel, I read through that. Honestly, the novelization of the movie is a little bit better because it didn't take me like forever to fucking get through.
did they kill the kids?
Oh God, I wish. I still
They-
want
they
to
The
need
only
to.
problem, the only thing that sucks about when you like read a book about it that was the movie is the theme song never plays. Like the best thing about Jurassic Park is dun, 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 dun,
Is it going to be like one of those annoying greeting cards that you open up and it plays a song?
Yeah, that wouldn't be annoying to me. I'd be like, oh fuck, I got to read this quick so it matches with the theme.
And I mean, and movies are awesome because you just put on subtitles. You can literally read it and watch it at the same time and listen to it. Oh my god! Boom! Fuck you, readers. I don't have to read shit. Fucking nerds, get with the times. You can literally just watch a book.
I read my movies, motherfucker. It's called subtitles, dog.
Yeah.
So
Sudden noise. Screaming dinosaur. Parentheses.
Dude, the only thing that sucks about subtitles is they fucking will say the name of someone before you're supposed to know who they are.
what do you want to be surprised by who's talking?
Well, like sometimes it'll be like a flashback and you don't know yet who it is.
Oh, they'll show it in
and
advance.
the little kid, it'll say, young Ellie. And you're like, well, I'm not supposed to fucking know that yet.
I know. I had the same thing happen when the limited edition Blu-ray of Star Wars came out. It was like you are part of Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away. And at the bottom of the screen it said Luke Skywalker's dad. I was like, this is fucking whack.
What the fuck?
I'm like, well, I guess I don't know.
No,
So
it has
fuck
a question mark. Luke Skywalker's dad?
His dad?
Question mark.
It said that underneath everybody. Admiral Akbar. Admiral Akbar's like, it's a trap. And it says Luke Skywalker's dad. Mon Calamari? Maybe.
Luke Skywalker's sister? Like, fuck.
For a medium that self-consciously struggles to be taken seriously, I mean, at this point, I don't think anybody's following along with the story, so I'm just going to get right back into it. I don't even know how to recap what we were talking about at this point, but it's been fun.
Lance Reddick was a huge gamer.
There you go. Lance Reddick was a huge gamer, and for a medium that self-consciously struggles to be taken seriously among the plethora of space marines, magical prophecies, and zombie parasites, Reddick was a perfect fit. Now Destiny 2 players are wondering how the game he gave so much can honor him back, both in the real world and in the cosmic scale events currently unfolding within it. There were long-running theories Zavala might eventually have to sacrifice himself to keep impending threats at bay. A sidearm he gave players seasons ago, called Spoiler Alert, came with the ominous flavor text, quote, "Someone is going to die." Holy shit, Bungie predicted Lance Reddick's death?
They poisoned him at the right time.
That was all. So Lance Reddick dying at a young age, he was what, like 60, 61? So he died young because the developers at Bungie
It's in the script.
poisoned him just to drum up some...
No, he's a gamer. He killed himself at the right time just before the next expansion.
He's such a method actor. He's the Daniel Day-Lewis of voice actors.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Bungie can manage Zavala's conclusion as effortlessly and graciously as Reddick would have. I mean, how are they going to continue the character now that he's dead? They're going to recast him as somebody else?
Yes.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
They'd have to.
Well, we got nice AI. They might like kill him off and use his, remake his voice until he dies.
I mean, something that I've been wanting to look into is, and I heard about this when they did the first Star Wars all the Star Wars movies. The first one, what the fuck was it called?
The first of the new ones.
Yeah, with Daisy Ridley.
No, it was Star Wars Episode 6, Beating a Dead Horse.
Okay. Yes.
Wait, the one that brought back Han Solo and then he dies.
Or no, that'd be Episode 7.
it was the one where the Rey character, she's on the fucking junk planet, and she finds out she's a fucking Jedi, and
A New Hope.
Sure.
That's what it was. Daisy Ridley was playing the character of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I forgot
remember
where I
the
was
name.
going with that. Where were we talking? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I saw this thing where a bunch of the people, I think Oscar Isaac is one of them. Their contract says that Star Wars can't use their likeness after they die.
Oh, because that's what they did to Carrie Fisher and the guy who played Not Grand Moff
the
Tarkin.
general.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, the guy who played Darth Vader.
I don't want you using my
James
likeness,
Earl
or I'll,
Jones.
I'll choke you.
Hayden Christensen is like, I don't want to be. I'm a terrible actor, but I still don't want to be associated with this shit.
He's like,
Hayden
just,
Christensen and James Earl Jones have to share the percentage they get off the movie now because they're the same character.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many people do that, where they're just like, "What if I die for some reason? You can't
use me.
You can't use me."
It's
Because I'm sure a lot of
gangster.
people do that, where they're like, "No, yeah, like let's record me saying every possible
Fucking
thing
use
ever.
me, yeah.
Like scan my whole body. Like I want to live on. Keep making shit with me in it forever and ever and ever and ever." I'm sure there's people who do that.
Yeah.
But
also at the same time, that's like giving away the merchandise rights, where you're just saying like, oh yeah, whatever
Well, you could
happens,
say,
because what
okay,
happens?
whatever.
What happens to their children that aren't getting any money off the fact
Well,
that
that's
they're-
what you do.
maybe they
You
sell
give it to
their
your kids.
likeness like
To their
a
kids.
maybe they sell their likeness like a whatchamacallit, like a fucking
Trust fund.
like a license, like if somebody owns
I-
like Sony owns Spider-Man, they're like they had to make a movie at some point, otherwise they will lose the rights to the property and then someone else could buy it.
So
Mm.
Carrie
maybe the
Fisher is
people-
going to be showing up in future movies just as
In
like a
South
little bit
Park
part,
and in fucking
so they can keep
and-
the
yeah.
likeness.
yeah.
I think
yeah.
licensing the
She'll be in
likeness.
a Lars Van Trier movie. It'll be great.
Yeah, if I was Harrison Ford, I would be like, you can use my likeness forever, but that money goes to my family bloodline.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder what that, because I'm sure they have to pay you ahead of time. They're like, well, I'm going to be dead, so it's not like I'm receiving any kind of royalties from it. You have to just give me
Give me a
another
big cut.
Give me another $40 million.
And then
Something-
also, my kids get 8% of any movie I'm in after I'm dead.
No, I don't
That
see
would-
Harrison
that
Ford
would
giving
be-
his kids that much money. I don't want them to have any of my
I give
fucking
them
money.
1%, but they can't get it till they're 50.
So I threw my back out in Raiders. I don't. These little fucking idiots don't deserve any of my money.
Yeah,
Give
for
us
all
a
the
Chewie.
for all of the very very famous and
All the
you know,
money goes
popular
to Chewie.
popular actors that are listening to the show right now, make sure that you license your likeness. Don't just totally sell it. You gotta leave something
Yeah.
for your kids.
There you
So
go.
I'm sure at this point that all three of us have to be fucking exhausted. I think this might be the latest not the latest that we've ever recorded a show, but it's been a long day. You guys want to wrap it up and head home?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, final words for Lance, dude. It's the same way I felt about Tom Sizemore in Saving Private Ryan. Lance made John Wick cool. When you watch those movies, the way he talks to John Wick, the way he respects John Wick, it's that supporting character that he does so well. He's like a supporting character in all his roles, and that's a special skill.
So is that going to be who we do all of our Iconoblast Epitaph episodes about?
It's just so far it's been two supporting class characters, but like in John Wick, it's dude, like my favorite part in John Wick 3 is when, because he's got his new dog, you know, and he doesn't know what to do with it because now he's going to go kill again, and you're not allowed to keep pets at the hotel, but fucking his name is Sharon in the movie, but Lance is like, hey John, I'll take the dog. Can I? He says it in the cool way he is. He's like, the hospital doesn't allow pets, but I do. Does the dog have a name? And John Wick's like, no. And he's like, okay. And then John kills everybody.
Well, everybody join us in a toast to Lance Reddick. I didn't realize how many different things you were in. It's like a true artist is only appreciated after they're dead.
Yeah.
So Lance, this is to you. Cheers.
Thanks for being in Destiny 2, which is basically Halo, which is our favorite video game of all time.
So that's it for episode 2 of Iconoblast Epitaphs. I'm sure we'll probably end up doing a lot more of these because, God, actors, they usually die in threes.
Well, it's not just actors, any icon, I think.
Any of them?
You know, like, so, yeah, I think if anyone, like, I
All
think
right. Yeah, I'm down
that
for
one
that.
president's getting old as shit. We should probably.
What, Joe Biden?
No, well, yeah, but the one The other
Rutherford
one,
B. Hayes.
I think Jimmy Carter is probably going to outlive Joe Biden.
Jimmy Carter is
He's in his 90s.
That's a good Deadpool. Yeah, it's a good Deadpool right there. Is
Isn't-
there like an app? Is there an
Joe-
app that we can set up to do a Deadpool for the Epitaphs where people can actually put money down?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be.
I'll look into it.
There's an app for everything.
So it'd
Yeah.
be so cool if we actually had like an Iconoblast Epitaph Deadpool, like you were saying. So like whoever we pick, you have to put $20 down. It goes into the pot, and that money just anytime
Mickey
anyone
Rourke.
picks,
I think that's who I
just
betted on
keeps adding
last
up.
episode.
You know. And
Yeah,
whoever puts money in, whoever gets it, gets all that fucking pot. That'd be fun.
Okay, you know what I don't know. Maybe have like set up 2 more Patreon tiers where it's just like, okay, is it going to be fucking is it going to be Mickey Rourke or is it going to be fucking Timothy Chalamet? And then they just put the money into it, and then
Whoever wins, they get
Well, but
get
then
all the money.
divvy up,
mean,
divvy it up.
Obviously,
No,
I'm
there's gotta
going
be
to fix
a
the fight
betting
because
app.
I plan on killing Timothy Chalamet at some point anyway. If we put money on it,
We don't have a Patreon either, so
I want to beat him to death with Mickey Rourke. That's what I want.
so it's a tie
Coop, have you
game. Nobody makes any money.
Yeah. So I win money both ways. I can't lose. Did you see Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man yet?
Still haven't seen it.
I'd like to hear your thoughts on it because I love that movie. But you might watch it and be
next-
like, "This is the dumbest gay boomer shit I've ever seen."
I don't know. I don't know if it. Yeah, we'll see if it holds up.
Or you'll be
Someone
like,
hasn't seen
"This is great." It's
All right,
a
well,
whole
Anybody
movie.
listening, anybody in the chat, send me a message if there's a way to have an app that we can do a Deadpool for real that people pay money on.
Oh, for sure, somebody's going to figure that out. If it's not
That'd be
not
awesome.
already out there, then that's going to be like the new Uber, is just betting on who's going to die first.
Yeah, well, you can do all that shit on the betting apps that exist already. Like they make bets up for anything. So I'm sure there's a way. But how do we do it just for us and our little group? You know.
A gentleman's agreement.
I mean, we can do a gentleman's agreement. I'm sure.
Well, there's no gentleman in the room right now.
You
Yeah,
pretend.
Isn't that what fantasy football is?
Yeah, kind of like that.
It's the fantasy
Can we-
football of dead celebrities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is there like a fantasy
I
football
play
thing
that.
where you can just plug in your own players? Because that's what you do in fantasy football, right? But instead of the players, you put famous people.
You are definitely asking
And
the
that-
wrong person how fantasy
that's your
football
team.
works.
I'm gonna somebody message me and I will do the work to figure it out if somebody can lead me in the right direction. All right,
Yeah.
let's get out of here.
Okay.
All right, well, that's it for episode 2 of Iconoblast Epitaphs. You can follow Iconoblast at Iconoblast Podcast on Instagram. I don't think that we don't even upkeep a Facebook page anymore, right? Because I can't imagine that
No,
we have
I don't think
anybody
we
in
have-
our audience that's like over the age of 70. Who uses Facebook anymore?
There's like an Iconoblast Facebook, but I don't think
Mark
either one
Zuckerberg?
of us know how to log into it.
You can follow me at Coop Nukem. You can follow Joel at Joel R. Benner. You can follow Adam at skeleton_factory. Also, check out the Skeleton Factory podcast. If you want to hear everything that you ever wanted to know or possibly not know about movies,
You're gonna
Adam
have
has
to do
all
a,
the information.
You're gonna have to do a Lance Reddick film now. That way, like people see this and then they trickle into your podcast and it all blends together. You know.
God, I wish I could, but to be honest, none of his movies look interesting to me.
I don't think he made a lot of movies.
I mean, he
You
did.
should do,
I don't recognize
do a-
him except John Wick.
You should do a
That's the only thing
review
I
on
recognize
his
him
role
from.
as Reggie in Always Sunny. It's like a 5-minute cameo.
Just do
I'm
a
going to go
2-hour
home. I'm going to
fucking
watch.
episode.
Fucking
I'm going to see
2-hour
if I can
bender on
find
a-
that episode.
Wait. Have you seen him on Eric Andre?
No,
He was on the Eric Andre show also?
Okay, that
I saw a clip from it.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah.
Coop, if you haven't
Haven't
seen
seen
it,
it.
just look up Lance Reddick on Eric Andre. I don't even want to tell you, and I don't even believe in spoilers.
Well, there's already clips.
I'll
Like,
make an exception. Yeah.
All right, I'll
It's-
have to look that up.
It's absolutely brilliant, especially if you like next gen. But yeah, it's great.
Like the next gen Sega console? What do you mean?
Yeah,
Star Trek.
Sega Saturn 2. I think that's dropping next year. It's going to be even harder.
Yeah, Lance
to get
Reddick
the
used to play it.
PlayStation 5.
He was a big fan of it.
Well, cheers everybody to Lance Reddick, and I'm going to go home and go to
I
bed.
finished my wine.